YouTube, what's going on? What's going on? This is your boy, DJ Troy. I hope everybody's good. Everybody's having a wonderful, Tuesday, the 10th, 2015. You know what I mean? Hope everybody's chilling. So let's get to all the trending topic. Of course, there is the whole situation of the Bachelor. I don't know, if you guys out there in Thailand or, Afghanistan, if you guys saw the last episode last night as yet, but it was a tremendous show. The thing is that for those people who have been watching The Bachelor, I'll just give you a quick synopsis. What happened is this guy by the name of Chris Soules basically had to choose between two beautiful young ladies last night. One of them was the name Rebecca, the other one name was Whitney. Chris was having a problem choosing the right girl because he had a strong gut feeling for Rebecca. But Rebecca just wasn't there emotionally. And he had no choice but to choose Whitney, I think that if Rebecca had came around and said, listen, I love you and blah, 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 he would have chose Rebecca. There's no doubt in my mind. Because just imagine that there was another girl on the show who loved Chris. Okay, she gave Chris everything. And Rebecca gave him nothing. Okay, and he kicked the other girl off just to keep Rebecca. Okay, so, there's this thing about men where it's sort of like we want what is it that we can't have. And it's crazy. It's crazy. It's like last night episodes of The Bachelor just shows the nature of men. Like, the one thing that we cannot have is the thing that we were willing to sacrifice everything for. Okay? But, thank God Rebecca was honest and said, listen, I'm not there. I'm not ready to move. I'm not ready to get married. I just don't feel it. Okay? And Chris was able to choose Whitney. I am so happy that Rebecca, if you see this video, I'm so happy that you were honest with Chris and just tell him that he wasn't there, that you're not there. Because if she was, The Bachelor was going to look very different, than what it ended with last night. Anyway, congratulations to Whitney and Chris. I wish them the very best. Chris seems like a very wonderful guy. Whitney, a very beautiful and wonderful lady at the same time too. It seems like Chris' family offers Whitney something that she doesn't have, which are parents. So I know this is like the perfect situation for everybody involved. And thank God that the right thing happened. So now it's the time where the country folks will say when the rubber hits the road, what will happen now with Chris and Rebecca? Because as you guys have already know, The Bachelor has the worst record of couples staying together afterwards. Because look at it like this way. You have a bunch of people come together in the most ideal circumstances in the world. Beautiful lighting, beautiful music, ambiance, food. You don't have to worry about anything except finding the right person. Of course, you're going to fall in love. But now when the rubber hits the road, when, Whitney wakes up one day and see that in Arlington, there's no place to really go except your farm and the beautiful sky. What is that going to be like? Chris is used to it. This is where he's from. But what will Whitney do? Okay, how is she going to handle, the not having the amenities of, the city and, these things. So it's a very, it's a very tricky situation. And I hope that Chris did the right thing. I hope that Whitney also knows what she's doing, because it's a very tricky situation, you know, knowing that, well, hey, you know, there's not going to be any more fancy music and fancy this and all of that stuff. We're good. This is who Chris is. This is where we're going to live. And, you know, this is what's going to happen. I wish them nothing but the very, very best. I wish them nothing but the very best. Moving on now to March 9th. Yesterday was the 18th anniversary of the death of Notorious B.I.G. May his soul rest in peace. I know a lot of fans were excited and happy, you know, that he's being, you know, recognized and everything. So rest in peace to B.I.G. Now, moving on to the Chris Brown situation and Chris Brown having a child. I spoke about this in one of my older videos. I don't know. It's fair to say that Chris Brown done messed up, done really, really messed up, because he has placed himself in a very crazy situation. Now, the baby father said that let's get, you know, for my viewers who don't know the Chris Brown story with this baby, it was announced by TMZ that Chris Brown had a child. At the point in time when Chris Brown apparently slept with this woman, she was still legally married but separated. After she gave birth to the child, her husband officially divorced her. Then all of a sudden, you know, it was announced to the world that the child is Chris Brown's child. Now, the husband who divorced his wife wants to sit down and talk to Chris Brown, because he said that Chris Brown has an anger problem, and he also has a 13-year-old daughter with the child, with this woman. So he needs to sit down and talk to Chris Brown so that, you know, everything could be copacetic and there's no problems. In one way, it's like, I guess in some ways, the guy, you know, this woman's husband, you know, sort of need to talk to Chris Brown, because, you know, if you're trying to co-parent, you know, you need to talk. But really and truly, you know, I don't see the point, you know, personally. Chris Brown's duty right now is to take care of his child. Okay, I know it's gonna create problems, because it's like, okay, here, you know, I'm this 13-year-old child, but my little baby sister is Chris Brown's daughter. You know, that creates a whole nother level of psychological damage to that 13-year-old. You know, so in that respect, I would say that, you know, this situation needs to be handled with care. You know, because you don't want that little girl to grow up to say, your daddy is a nothing and my dad is Chris Brown. It creates a whole lot of issues, and there's a lot of things that needs to be worked out with this situation. You know, there's a lot of ironing out, because it's very complicated and it can become a nightmare. Another aspect of this is that Chris Brown apparently wants to cut child support, you know, from this woman, you know, cut it because he was giving her a lot of money. Some people speculate that it was hush money so that she could keep quiet about the situation. So now that the secret is out, Chris Brown wants to go back to court and cut the child support that he was giving her to start to just pay the base minimum. You know, another crazy move. It's not necessary. If you've been giving her money, continue, Chris, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. You know, the guy who created The Simpsons, I don't know his name at the top of his head. Rest in peace to him also too. He just passed from cancer. He left $100 million fortune, okay? Because he passed from colon cancer. He's not taking that money to the grave with him. So Chris Breezy, you know, the secret is out. It doesn't really matter if you've been given this money. this woman money to take care of your child, continue to give her, because whatever money it is that you're giving her, you're gonna make way more than that, first of all. And at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you're not taking a dime to the grave with you. Okay, all this worth is gonna stay right here for your predecessor, your predecessors, sorry, or your ancestors, whatever word is right. For the people that you left behind, basically. They're going to be the ones that's going to be spending your money. So continue to give the woman the money. Finally, there's been a crazy situation with this fraternity who basically were recorded singing a lot of racist song on a bus or in a frat house. The thing is, racism hasn't ended and it will continue. What we as the new generation, the people who are bringing kids now into the world, who are, taking care of families now, we need to train our kids differently. As we all know, last week, Saturday, okay, March 6th, I think. March 6th was the anniversary, March 7th was the anniversary of the Selma50, or Bloody Sunday, that day that, the voters, was walking across this bridge in Selma, Alabama, and they were killed, okay? And it was a very sad situation. The reason why Martin Luther King and these people marched was to get voting rights, okay? After this incident of this fraternity singing racist song, having a Confederate flag inside their dormitory or their frat house, it shows that racism still needs to end, okay? It hasn't gone anywhere, and we need to continue to watch over all the madness that's going on in the world. So I'm happy with that university president that completely banished that fraternity, kicked everyone off the campus, and kicked everyone off the campus, the fraternity out. So it was a good thing. Finally, people, I would just like to talk about the Suge Knight situation. It is a crazy situation. I don't know if anybody saw the video on TMZ, but it is just brutal, okay? No one knows what this trial will, turn out to be. But if you saw that video of Suge Knight running over those two men, you know that it's a conviction, okay? That video really seals Suge Knight's fate. But let's see what the justice system and the evidence has to show. Again, people, always remember to take care of what's important, take care of your family, do what is right for you, take care of your health, and don't waste your time on foolishness. Take care of what's important, because you have one life to live, and once that life is gone, that's it. So live one day at a time, live happy, be well, be healthy. This is your boy DJ Troy. Peace out. I'm out.